At dawn this morning, the Chennai police stormed into Chennai's Marina beach and asked the protesters to evacuate. They'd been sitting peacefully for the past week, wanting to see what the Tamil Nadu Assembly does. Did the police overreact? Did they act in haste? Why did they have to go and move out a bunch of peaceful protesters? The police says that this protest has been overtaken by anti-national elements who've been burning flags and chanting anti-India slogans. Is that really the case, or did the police just panic? India Today has an extensive deployment of reporters on the ground in Chennai tracking every aspect of this story. Here is our lead story on the Newsroom tonight.
What started as a peaceful protest, now up in flames.
We can see here as we pass through this area, which is the heart of Chennai. This is not a Chennai that anybody has seen. One side we have protesters, on the other side the police personnel. We are caught in the crossfire here completely.
23rd January, 7 a.m, Marina Beach. For the 7th straight day, protests continued at the scenic tourist spot in Chennai. And then there was an announcement. All protesters must leave is what the police said. But the Chennai Crusaders refused to relent. And what followed was scenes of defiance, of Gandhigiri. But things got really ugly a couple of hours later when an angry mob descended in nearby areas.
I think there's been another attack here. It is a very severe smoke now coming out. Initially the smoke was being put out, but now it can be seen that much thicker smokes are coming out.
Tear gas shells and water cannons were used by the police to disperse the protesters.
Are you trying to say that there are anti-social elements in there trying to pollute the mind of the people who were genuinely protesting earlier?
Yeah, there are some people, handpick of people who are just want to make the crowd into more crucial, and they are trying us to go for extreme level.
And soon the Jallikattu fire spread across Chennai. Stones hurled, vehicles, public property set on fire.
Here we stand in Roypeta area, and this is just very close to the Ice House police station, and we just know that how that some miscreants allegedly tried to cover up, and you can actually see that there are a lot of issues of stone pelting that is taking place. You can show you the remnants of the stones that are being used. We're here at the Dr. Besant Road, right next to the Ice House police station. Once again, incidents of violence coming to light here as another incident of lathi charge has taken place here. Locals rushing to the streets, daring the police, and the police replying with brute force.
We are at Radhakrishna Salai. This road leads to Marina, and you can see behind me how protesters and police personnel are clashing with each other. There is this huge heavy stone pelting happening here.
As the situation turned uglier, cops nabbed the miscreants who instigated the violence in the city.
Minutes after the bill was passed over Jallikattu, you see violence once again breaking out here. This is at Tenampeta at Mount Road, very close to really the center of Chennai. Even as we're seeing, of course, traffic jams on the other side of the road. Massive stone pelting incidents being reported here.
While Chennai burned, protesters clashed with the police in other parts of Tamil Nadu as well. Through the day, violence and vandalism took over the war that was being fought for Tamil pride, ironically putting the state to shame. With Akshay Nath, Rohini Swami, Akshita Nandagopal, Ashish Pandey, Pramod Madhav and Revati Rajivan, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, questions are being asked about whether anti-national elements have taken over the Jallikattu protest. In the midst of all of this, India Today has been able to access these images from Coimbatore, where the local police can be seen setting an auto rickshaw on fire. I want to play out these images for you. There it is on your screen right now. So it's getting a little confusing and muddled over here. A, are anti-national protesters involved? Who are these anti-national protesters? And B, more importantly, did the police overreact I want to go across to my colleague Rohini Swami. She's joining us live on this broadcast. Rohini, we're seeing these images from Coimbatore where the police personnel are setting an auto on fire. While we've seen the AIADMK see this, we've seen the Chennai commissioner say that anti-national elements are involved. When I see those pictures, I wonder what's really going on here, Rohini?
Well, certainly that there are certain information that has not gone to the top chiefs, especially in the police rung, because the visuals that we are seeing also, the police commissioner, when he held the press conference, said that all the videos will be analyzed, and this should be also one video that the police should look into, because there have been issues of sporadic violence, but this video specifically shot by a resident in that area clearly indicates how things were going out of hand. This is Madurai. There is visuals of Coimbatore that are coming, and here as we stand in Chennai, Rahul, every place was ground zero, because every place in Chennai, for all that the people were talking about victory of Jallikattu, there was something that was seen as a complete anti-Jallikattu movement, because people here were bringing shame to the city of Chennai, for peace-loving Chennai, for the people who know that Chennai was never like this. There are two things here. One is that while the people who have been peacefully protesting on Marina Beach, they feel that they have turned victorious because it's a movement, a peaceful movement that has made a change, and that sets the ball rolling for a lot of other people who are asking for that. At the same time, one day of sporadic violence like this itself has completely drowned what was being done for 6 days.
Okay, let's see
But
what S. George, the Chennai police commissioner, had to say about anti-national elements being involved and the role of the police as well. Here's the Chennai commissioner.
I would reiterate here that stringent action will be taken on all these anti-social elements they are identifying, and any more such violence will be dealt with firmly, and we will be intensifying our night patrolling, and we will be deploying more police forces tomorrow. We will find out the motive for, we will find out who did this and the motive for that. Situation is under control now, and as I said before, more police officers will be deployed tonight and tomorrow, and the safety and security of the public will be ensured.
Across to my guests who are joining us on the newsroom, I want to go across to Revati. Revati is joining us from Madurai. Revati, what's the situation where you are? We're seeing very volatile situation in Chennai. What's the situation that you're seeing around you?
Well, Rahul, compared to Chennai, Madurai has been extremely peaceful, except for one incident in Alanganallur village in the morning where protesters turned violent, because after hours of senior officials trying to convince the protesters, the villagers, to disperse, and even the village Jallikattu organizing committee saying that they would hold Jallikattu on February 1st, a lot of protesters refused to disperse. That's when they resorted to lathi charge, and a lot of these protesters pelted stones at the policemen. Now, that was one incident, one violent incident that we could report from Madurai. But apart from that, 20 kilometers away in Madurai city, all the protesters were dispersed peacefully, and the police did not have to resort to any sort of violent means. For example, the rail roko agitation that went on for 5 days and nights, even there the police spoke to the protesters for about 2 hours trying to convince them to disperse, and finally they did disperse without having to use any violent means. Now, even in the center of Madurai city, where protests have been going on for one long week, where thousands had gathered, even that place, at the end of the 3 hours of discussion that the police had with the protesters, there were only about 100 of them who refused to move, and even those people, the policemen only walked behind them with all the protective gears and
That's very interesting, very interesting reporting from Revati from Madurai, suggesting that there was active involvement of the police and they were able to get the protesters to go back home, at least a majority of them. Why could the same not happen at the Marina Beach? And also, most importantly, has the protest been overtaken by anti-national elements? Now, this charge was first leveled by Dr. Subramaniam Swami, who's joining us on the newsroom this evening. At that time, nobody else was saying this, but now we're seeing the AIADMK, we're also seeing the Chennai police commissioner say exactly the same. Also with us on the broadcast is Senthil Nayagan. He's a protester. Amongst those who are very upset by what's happening, also amongst those who are very wary of what the government is doing. We've got Ambika Shukla, one of India's best known animal rights activists, very strongly against Jallikattu. We've also got C. Rajshekharan. He leans towards the AIDMK. I want to go across to Dr. Subramaniam Swamy first. Dr. Swamy, you said that there are anti-national elements involved. And for a while it did seem that the situation was unnecessarily going out of hand, that most of the student protesters wouldn't want something like this to happen. Now we're seeing these images from Coimbatore, where the police is setting auto rickshaw on fire, and the protesters are saying that this is basically an attempt being made by the government to show us in bad light, that we are peaceful, we are being projected in bad light, we are being deliberately provoked. How do you respond, Dr. Swamy?
Well, you know, in any large police, large country like ours, or say the United States or anywhere else, there are always the rogue elements in the police, and only an inquiry can tell us what this video means. I don't think that, one can just by this incident say that the police all over were in a provocative mood and they were doing arson themselves. The most crucial part is that the protest in Marina Beach, after the ordinance was issued, they should have dispersed. But there are elements there that didn't want. They wanted it to continue. And they had posters.
These elements, Dr. Swamy, you say this, and there are people who are saying, who are these anti-national elements? Because there are lots of students over there. They're saying, we're not anti-national. We are pro-Tamil, but we are pro-India. So when you say there are anti-national elements involved, the protesters say, Dr. Swamy, where is the proof? What's your charge? Who are these people? What is their motive?
If you have posters of Osama bin Laden, Prabhakaran, Hafiz Saeed, and a call for Tamil Elam, separate Tamil Nadu. All these were there for everyone to see, and this couldn't be only for peaceful protest. The protest was on Jallikattu, and by the way, Jallikattu banned by the Supreme Court was in 2010. It arose out of a GO put out by the Congress party. And I was there in the Supreme Court now after the BJP government very helpfully superseded that 2011 GO and brought in a new one. And I argued, I've given 23 pages of written submissions tracing the history.
Do you not think, Dr. Swamy, that the Chennai police also has to answer the question about why they went in early this morning trying to evict protesters who till then were sitting absolutely peacefully? They said, we want to see what happens in the Tamil Nadu assembly, but they were non-violent. Now you go there, you forcibly try and evict them. That's when the situation started to degenerate, Dr. Swamy.
Well, I'm sorry, you don't understand the administrative aspect. The agitation was achieved its objective. The ordinance was issued, and that day, that is today, it was going to be enacted as law by the assembly, and the police wanted them to clear out. Marina Beach is not a private property of anybody, and it's a public place. When this massive crowd joined there, it was also a great inconvenience, plus the Republic Day parade was to take place tomorrow. And not only that, 2 rehearsals had been cancelled because of this. Why didn't they disperse? They may be peaceful, but just because they are peaceful, it doesn't mean that their elements there were not ready to create a violence. They said they will not move.
That's a very good point.
Till it is permanent.
That's a very good point that Dr. Subramaniam Swamy makes. And Senthil Nayagan is amongst the protesters who were there at the Marina Beach. And this is something, Senthil, that protesters must respond to. A, when you wanted the Jallikattu be allowed and the government of O. Pannirselvam brought about this ordinance in consultation with the Modi government, then that's really where the people's movement should say, okay, we've won, we've got what we wanted. Why then did the protesters refuse to move? Why did the situation get so terribly ugly for such a wonderful city like Chennai?
Rahul, okay, what I would like to say is, okay, first part, the protest came in two layers, okay. First level was people who came genuinely for supporting or for solidarity purpose, okay. Then came in the other people, okay. So people who are staying, not dispersing, even after, like yesterday, they said, okay, they're going to pass the ordinance was passed. Today they said the assembly will pass this law, and it's already passed by 5 o'clock, okay. If they don't want to disperse, then they have ulterior motives. I don't believe these are people who initially started it or supported it. They came for different causes and they are creating mischief. And also, when people said, okay, disperse from the Marina beach, there are other people who tried getting into the beach, right? That's where the violence triggered.
Ayush Senthil Nayagan is amongst the prominent protesters involved in what's happened at Marina Beach over the past week or so, accepting that anti-national elements have got involved. That this protest has been hijacked.
I don't know, how do I term the term, but maybe antisocial, definitely. When the first 4-5 days, we never had anybody coming drunk. We didn't let them in, okay. We didn't let them show any we didn't want to have any leader per se, or any projector as the leader for it, okay. When those things are changing, that's what is impacting, okay. The crowd has swelled. When we started out, maybe we had 500 people, the second day had about 5,000 people. Now we had about 7 lakh people on Saturday, right. But after that, what is the end game, okay. End part was, okay, ordinance was passed. The government is seriously, they're taking out to take action. OPS went to meet Modi and got assurance that the law will be passed or President will promulgate it. And a lot of positive things have happened, right? So they would have waited for that to happen. You can't call the parliament and say, okay, hey, pass a law at a center. It will not happen. See, we have so many adjournments at parliament, right? So we can't expect that to happen. Also, we can't dictate Supreme Court, okay, you have to give me a judgment, okay. Another part, Republic Day was coming in and let's say budget session was coming on January 31st. There is no way another 10 days of protest could have happened without any other violence triggering. That's what the crux of it.
Okay, see Rajshekharan, you know, a lot of very senior political analysts out of Chennai like N. Ram believe that this is down to the political tussle between O. Paneerselvam and Sasikala. That if the Jallikattu ordinance had been converted into law as it was by the Tamil Nadu Assembly, if O. Paneerselvam had gone to Madurai and done the inauguration in the way that he planned, and if everything was peaceful, he would have emerged stronger. He would have emerged as a man who was able to convert the people's wishes into law. Now, they see a Sasikala angle. They say that this is essentially the General Secretary trying to trip the Chief Minister to show that under O. Paneerselvam the situation is unraveling and that the administration is losing control. How do you respond?
Rahul, first and foremost, I am not competent to answer this question because I am not the member of the ADMK, neither the spokesperson of the ADMK party and the government. But anyway, since you have raised the question, I would say all these stories are media speculations, and there is no little bit of truth in it, because Mr. Paneerselvam is the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu and Madam V.K. Sasikala Natarajan is the General Secretary of ADMK party. It has been unanimously elected by their own party members. So, being so, where is the tussle, all this rift, all these stories are fabricated, concocted stories to just make score brownie points in the media and other public domain. The fact of the matter is, everything is fine in Tamil Nadu, and somebody, I don't know who...
No, one second, Mr. Rajshekharan. Do not say that everything is fine in Tamil Nadu. You only need to see these images from Chennai, from Coimbatore. One second. Things are far from fine. The fact that there is a serious problem which the government is not being able to address. Now the protesters are asking, if they are sitting peacefully at Marina Beach, why did the police arrive at 5:30 this morning and ask them to evict? Why was force used? Now, those are very serious questions that the Chennai government, that the Chennai administration and Tamil Nadu government needs to answer.
Rahul, since you raised a very pertinent point, I will tell you something which I have not spoken to anybody. See, I have got a group called Tamil Makkal Ekam. It's an NGO, and we are a group of people. We went to the Marina, and 3 days we tried to persuade them and say that, see, this is going to happen. Let us form a committee, a peace committee, and ensure we are not going to come. We will help you out. We are reputed lawyers. We will help you. We tried our level best. We met that actor, one small-time actor, Lawrence, and all this VJ, RJ and all, they want to score popularity by appearing in the public, in the youth which has been gathered in lakhs and lakhs. And we tried, but you know what answer we got? Responsible citizens like us, they said, we don't want anybody, anything you want to give, you tell us, and you should not come to the crowd. You should not come and meet the youngsters. We will go and explain them. See, this was the attitude of the protesters and the group of people who are dominating them.
So you're saying, and let Senthil Nayagan respond, that this, Ambika Shukla, I'm aware of the fact that you're with us, but I just want to finish with the Tamil Nadu politics of this first, and then focus on whether we are setting a very wrong precedent. So just bear with me, Ms. Shukla. I'm starting part 2 in just a moment. But before that, I want Senthil Nayagan to respond to the charge that there are some people out there who are trying to misguide the students and the protesters to try and seek publicity, to be in the limelight. C. Rajshekharan alleges that there are people who are trying to benefit from this people's students movement.
Okay, Rahul, what I will start with is, I will start slightly earlier, okay. Why did the movement per se start? We had our own grudges, okay. We felt our MPs and MLAs are not doing their job. We had 50 MPs in Delhi, they didn't go and pursue something earlier. That was one part. MLAs also, there were a lot of infighting going on. So we literally took it on ourselves to go and fight for our cause, okay. Not the fight in violent way, we want to say, okay, hey, we felt strongly for it. Okay, and that was again a conscious decision not to involve any leaders, because we knew this will get hijacked every point of time. Okay, we also did not want
respond to Senthil that they didn't trust political people. They didn't want the netas because netas do netagiri. The youngsters, the protesters said, keep these netas away. They're saying deliberately we kept you lot out.
Yes, I totally agree. First 3 days it was a satyagraha demonstrated in the Marina, and I, in the same channel and other national TV, I said, I am seeing Mahatmas, new modern day Mahatmas protesting. This was my term used for all the protesters, cutting across everybody, now throughout the state. But what ultimately happened? They got, carried away with all this crowd and people coming in and responding, and a lot of donations they received. I don't know what happened. That Lawrence, one actor, small time actor, said he is going to give 1 crore. Whom did he give? How did he give? Where is the transfer, money transfer he has done? To whom he has done that 1 crore? All made, he has made.
Okay, Senthil wants to respond. Senthil, go ahead.
Where is that money?
Quickly, please, because I have to start part 2 as well. Senthil, go ahead, quickly.
All I'm saying is, if you have issue with how the accounting of money is there, let them show the receipts. Okay, people, lot of water, food was donated across to us.
No,
okay.
we gave food, but I don't want to market my commitment to the protesters.
No, if you have commitment, say if you have questions against RJ Balaji or Hip Hop Tamila or Lawrence, I'm genuinely fine with that part. Ask for accounts, how the money was spent.
Should not come. How did you allow them? That is my point. See, you didn't allow a group of advocates from Madras High Court. Now the advocates are serving you. The advocates have filed a case. What you fellows did, you spoiled the reputation of Tamil Nadu and image. And you didn't allow anybody to come into your protest and support you. You behave like dictators.
Rajshekharan, I have grudges. I don't want to open it this way, okay?
Okay, no, one second. I can't have, one second. I can't have both guests speaking at the same time. This is not the way we run debates on the newsroom. Rajshekharan, I've cut your audio off because I can't have you hollering and screaming over Senthil. Senthil, I want you to make a very brief interjection, respond. Those will be your final words before I move to part 2. Very quickly, Senthil.
Yeah. No, if people have questions against why certain people were allowed or not allowed, they can actually question it, and we will make sure they are being answered, first part. Second part, if money was, a lot of food, I have actually tweeted a day back, there were not 1 million protesters, there were 1 million volunteers who helped, right? Check all the Facebook tweets or posts, photos, videos, where we see people actually helping each other. That's how it started, okay? Outside people came in. I believe the violence happened today because of political parties, okay? These are probably paid protesters, okay?
This is where I end part 1 of the newsroom. You know, it's unfortunate. This was really the people's movement, in many ways being described as Chennai's Nirbhaya moment. where Chennai and the people of Tamil Nadu come together for a cause that is popular, which is close to their heart, and they force netas to act to their will. Unfortunately, it degenerated into violence. It is a matter of greater study about who initiated the violence and who these anti-national elements are. But the fact that you've got posters of Prabhakaran and the people burning the Indian flag or saying things about Osama bin Laden, these are problem areas. Clearly, mischievous elements have got involved. They need to be kept away. We're slipping into a break. When we come back, I'll shift our attention to the larger issue, because we're already seeing in Karnataka voices raised about Kambala being brought back. Kambala, of course, is buffalo racing. Then you've got bullock cart racing in Maharashtra, where demands are being made that bullock cart racing be brought back. Then there's bull fighting in Assam, and there are cockfights in Andhra Pradesh. So where does this really go? I'll have Ambika Shukla with us. We'll have Markande Katju, the well-known Supreme Court Justice. Our guest will also be joining us when we come back on the other side of a quick break and look at the larger precedent. Is this really a terrible example to have set?